That's my synagogue, Young Israel of Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale. We have lots of members, people of all ages, and a full schedule of activities in any given week. We have a few rabbis, and they're the greatest. Sometimes we even have rabbis who visit for the weekend as scholars and residents. But then along came this virus, and with it, self-isolation, quarantine, and for some reason, a major toilet paper shortage. But I digress. So we tried to move all of our classes and activities online, and people seemed to like it. But I was thinking, what if we got some of our rabbis together, perhaps even the occasional guest, once a week, just to shoot the breeze and maybe joke around a little? I'm Avi Fryer, and this is Rabbis in Quarantine Getting Coffee. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the season finale. I love calling it that. I mean, it's a little bit sad, but it's not over. It's not the series finale. It's the season finale of Rabbis in Quarantine Getting Coffee. After this, we're going to be taking a little bit of a summer break, and we thought, what better way than to go out with a bang and to end it on Father's Day with dad jokes. This is a Father's Day special dedicated to dad jokes. And right now you were with two people who could probably carry dad jokes for a solid 40, 45 minutes that this show usually lasts just by ourselves if we wanted to. Right, Rabbi? Do you think so?
It would not be hard at all. Avi, I just wanted to say that I'm glad you didn't say it was the series finale because I was afraid you were going to make me sit in an Italian restaurant against facing the door while Don't Stop Believing was playing.
That we would change the name. It would be Rabbis and Italian Restaurants About to Get Knocked Off. It would be a different name. But we're ending with a bang by bringing in some rabbinical experts on the art of the dad joke who are going to be sharing with us. And I'd like to just kick things off first off by wishing you, Rabbi Weinstock, and all the dads who are listening a happy Father's Day. And I'd like to share the T-shirt that I got for Father's Day today. It's from my children to add to my T-shirt collection. 7 days without a pun makes 1 week. Yes, it's true. And you got one also, right?
This one says dad jokes loading. It's always going on. You know, it's always percolating.
There's always a new one loading. And they got you that hat.
They did. This was from a different year, but I figured I'd put it all together.
Okay.
I only wear it once a year.
They made an ensemble. So I'd like to start with a classic dad joke. What did the grape do when it got stepped on?
What did the grape do when it got stepped on?
Let out a little wine. And with that, a l'chaim to you and to 11, going on now, 11 episodes of Rabbis in Quarantine. And so it's not the best wine, but it'll have to do.
Okay, so it wasn't the best dad joke either. So
well, by definition, that's kind of what makes it a dad joke.
That's correct.
So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on the chat to see what people are saying. I know it can't be terribly positive, but that's just the way it goes.
I was just going to tell you about, I know you have some summer plans. I was going to tell you some of my summer plans.
Oh, I'd love to hear.
You know, we had big summer plans. Telling my children that they were going to be changed was hard. Almost as hard as telling my suitcases that there was not going to be vacation this year because, you know, that emotional baggage is the worst kind.
It's definitely the worst something. That was pretty awful, Rabbi.
But I've decided to pick up some reading. One book that I started reading was about anti-gravity, and I'll tell you, it's been impossible to put it down.
I can imagine. Like my dinner, if these are you doing an entire dad joke monologue? Have you prepared?
No. These are just the top few. Just about my summer plans. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I think we should bring in one of our guests.
Okay, absolutely.
So here he comes all the way from one of our recent episodes of Rabbis in Quarantine, all the way from Dallas, Texas. Rabbi Rakowski, good friend of Rabbi Weinstock. I don't think Rabbi Weinstock knew you would be joining. I'm not sure.
Oh.
You seem to be muted, but
Not
there.
anymore. You know, the criminal always returns to the scene of the crime.
It's true. Does the criminal have a dad joke to share?
Well, you know, I don't tell dad jokes. Only the finest quality humor from the pulpit if congregation shari's feeling otherwise. In fact, in my family, telling dad jokes puts you on joke probation. But I do have at least one. Why do people in Athens tend to get up late in the morning?
People in Athens, they tend to get up late in the morning. This has something to do with slippery. Is there something slippery here?
Not quite.
No, it's Greek. It's Greece. I don't know. Why do people in Athens tend to get up late in the morning?
Because dawn is tough on Greece.
Dawn is tough on Greece.
Dawn is tough on Greece.
That was tough on me.
Yeah, that was really good.
Like that.
That was good as dad jokes go.
Right. Does that make it a bad joke?
No, a dad joke is by definition a bad joke. It's like you can switch that D around and make it a B anytime you want.
Rabbi Rakowski, you know the best time of day though, right?
Go ahead.
6:30, hands down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And speaking of down, you know that my wife was very upset that I have a terrible sense of direction. So I finally decided, you know what I did? I packed up my things and I write.
And you're right.
That's as opposed to I left just for those.
I'll leave you with one more because I know that there is voting and I want to increase my chances of winning. So before I leave you with this, you know that the funeral industry is experimenting with different ways to be more efficient, to be more environmental, and be more flashy. So they're experimenting with glass coffins. We don't know if it'll be successful. Remains to be seen.
Ooh.
Remains.
Oh, well done.
Okay.
Thanks.
So actually, Rabbi, you just, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. I didn't open up my sound effects app so that I could give rim shots accordingly. So if you don't mind just sticking around for one more moment, I know you have to run. You probably have to go and apologize to your family for embarrassing them like this. You're definitely going to be on joke probation. There's no question about it.
100%. I possibly joke solitary confinement at this point.
But here we go. Nice. How was that? Did that come through?
Excellent.
Yes, it did.
All right,
Well
good.
done.
So we have that to use.
Thank you. Thank you for
right.
having me.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Rabbi Rakowski, everyone.
Thank you, Rabbi Weinstock. Good to see you.
You too. All the best.
All
Thanks
the
for
best.
coming.
All right. So
Avi, you were talking about your wife and how you had to make right or left or split or whatever it was. So being in quarantine together, we found some quality time, and my wife and I, our favorite time is every day at 12:59. You know, we appreciate that one-to-one time.
that's okay. Let me just. There we go. All right. I think with that, it's time to bring in another guest. Perhaps someone who will be able to set you straight, Rabbi. Welcome to the show.
Oh,
Rabbi Weinstock's brother, Rabbi Weinstock.
he's literally a comedian in a car.
Yes.
Decided to go all in for the series finale. I mean, season finale. Sorry.
You're a bootlegger. You're a bootlegger.
So, Rabbi, it's a tiny bit hard to hear you, but thank you for joining. You know, your brother here, Rabbi Weinstock, he had no idea you were going to be here, or at least he didn't tell me he had any idea you were going to be here. So this is definitely a surprise. Can you share maybe a dad joke that rings back to your past as young Weinstocks?
To the past. See, I thought this was going to be the one about in the car and I have my fancy car driving. But a dad joke in the past. Well, I was really thinking a lot about Father's Day because we're coming back from a Father's Day where we visited my father. And
wait, he's my father too, right?
Yes, he still is okay with that.
All right, good. I just want to confirm.
Got me thinking that, about my life's trajectory and our family's life trajectory and being a rabbi. And I always wanted to be a millionaire like my father. You see, he also wanted to be a millionaire. Considering about dad jokes, probably about the best sound effect I could probably get. So
I thought you were going to do the one about how we went into the family business because our father is an anesthesiologist and we too put our people to sleep. Right?
That's true. It's not a joke.
It's not a joke, but sometimes
that would not be a joke.
Funny because it's true. No, that was the other one I was thinking about is what do you call a person with no body and just a nose?
Oh, I know this.
Okay, Avi, hit it.
Actually, I don't because nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Thank you very much.
In the Weinstock family, there's no joke probation. There's no solitary confinement. It's just you put it all out there. You leave it all on the field.
Absolutely.
And
There can't be because everybody's hearing these jokes. They know that you would constantly be on probation. It would be a constant thing.
It would be double secret probation.
It would be, yes. So we have some shout outs. We have a hello from Missouri. Oh, this is a shout out for Rabbi Davis. So we'll get to this one a little bit later because Rabbi Davis will be joining us. Donna is having fun with this, by the way, just so you know.
I wanted to wish my brother good luck. He up in New York. They're reopening shuls, and so hopefully it'll be as successful for him as it was for us, and it will similarly be intense. It'll be an intense prayer experience.
It will be an intense prayer experience. Yes.
Yes.
Rabbi Weinstock, Rabbi Eli Weinstock, is there an elevator in your building in KJ?
Yes, there is.
There is. So this could really work out on so many levels because that's so many. Yes. All right. And with that, Rabbi Weinstock, thank you so much. Happy Father's Day to you. Where are you guys headed?
No, we're coming back from Connecticut.
Back from Connecticut.
That's pretty
Very
funny.
nice. All right. Thanks so much for joining
us. Get me some of those tomatoes on the side of the road, okay?
Like apples.
Don't worry.
How come they never came up like a
Don't worry. By the end of the show, Rabbi, people will be showing up at my house and your house and throwing plenty of tomatoes. We'll have all the tomatoes we need. All right. Let's welcome someone else to the show here. And Rabbi Weinstock, thank you so much. Here we go. Here is Oded, Rabbi Rav Oded, also.
Hello, everybody. It's true. But if I'm in a Kia right now, but if I was a Jedi, I would have been driving a Toyota.
A little Star Wars. Okay.
A little Star Wars humor. It's true. So
is it getting hot in here? Let me turn on the
AC. So where are you coming from?
Obvious sound effect. What sound effect is that guy?
I don't think I have I must have a Yoda somewhere.
I have a Wookiee.
Do or not do this and try.
Right. Well, that was a poor try, but you still get a few more.
All right. Thank you.
So happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. You should know I love telling dad jokes. Sometimes he laughs.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
All right.
For me, it would be Abba jokes, but it didn't work. It wouldn't click.
Yeah, there's a little cultural divide here. What's is there even? There's no Father's Day in Israel, right?
There's no. We don't believe in that. That's like the Hallmark holidays, all right? We don't have time. Israeli dads don't have time to celebrate themselves.
What is this Father's Day? I thought in 4 wars. What?
In an elite combat unit.
That's right.
All fathers in Israel are concerned about is to make sure the heaters are off and the lights are off in the rooms that nobody goes into. That's what fathers are worried about in Israel. But yeah, definitely in Israel they're called bichot keresh, which is like a plank of wood, because that's how funny they are, just like a plank of wood.
Speaking about planks, when I was a kid, my parents made me walk a plank because they wouldn't let me have a dog.
Walk a plank.
You
Okay. We need we can't do that too much. I work for you.
It's almost as bad as the guy who was swimming across the Atlantic from America to Israel. He got halfway, he got tired, so he went back.
Yeah.
I said it's almost as bad. Oh wow! Thank you.
I give you a little. It was a little like a golf clap.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. By the way,
well,
you saw
Robbie, Dad, do you have any final thoughts before I put you back out in the waiting room?
Just so you see that I actually dressed up for the occasion. I wore a button-down short because I don't buy anything Velcro. It's a total ripoff.
Oh, and he ends with a bang.
For the three, yes.
Thanks for joining us tonight. And before we get to one of our, let's see, I'm not gonna make differences between. Let's bring in. Here's somebody we've never had on the show, and he's a rabbi in our community, and he's trying out his first dad joke. Right? He's never actually. I don't even think culturally. What do they, Rabbi Laredo? Where you grew up? Did they call these dad jokes? What do they call them?
No, we didn't joke in Canada at all about anything, right?
You're Canadian?
There's nothing funny in Canada.
Yeah, I know. You're too busy trying to keep warm. So, Rabbi, do you have any? First off, happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. Happy Grandfather's Day to you, Avi. You look that old, right?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. The gray is showing through. So, what do you have to share with us from the dad joke department, Rabbi Laredo?
All right, this is more of a reality, but it's so funny and sad at the same time that you just have to laugh about it. And this started all the way at the beginning of the pandemic. I told this to my chavrus and we were learning on the phone, and I told him every day is like Sunday. Normally Sunday you can't get anything done around the house because the kids are always home. So this pandemic, every day is like Sunday. So it's not really funny, but it's like
True.
It's like funny and sad at the same time.
Pointing glimpse into the reality. So it's
right. Okay, but I have a funnier one for you, Avi. I didn't think you liked that one at all because maybe your kids are not that young. But Rabbi Weinstock could commiserate with me more.
Yeah.
But do you have any actual dad jokes that you could?
He's giving one right now. Let's see.
All right. Let me think of this. So, how do you get a squirrel to like you? Or how do you get a squirrel to get your kids to like your kids?
Okay.
So get them to act like a nut.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
That earns a rim shot. Excellent.
By the way, Rabbi Laredo, since you're from Canada and it's usually cold, although we know in the summer it's nice, but it gets a bad rap for being cold. I have advice when you're cold in Canada. You should stand in the corner because in the corner it's usually 90 degrees.
Yes, it is.
Very good. It's a good one.
Yes, it is. And while you're on the subject of acting like a nut, it actually reminds me, I was planning at one point on going on an all almond diet, but then I decided that would be just nuts. So I
too I was thinking about going on a diet, but I have way too much on my plate right now.
Yeah, I hear that. Are there eggs on your plate?
Eggs.
No, because it's actually true. Eggs do not tell each other jokes because they're concerned about cracking each other up. That's a fact.
Wow, you guys are good. You guys are on a roll.
I'm not making that up. Sometimes I do have eggs on a roll. All right, Rabbi Laredo, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We do have to move along and bring in. Now here's a special guest. I'm very excited. I'm kind of a little bit sorry that we didn't invite him as a guest sooner, but we have another season coming up. I mean, this could be like the season premiere of the next season. We have with us Rabbi Ezra Levy, all the way from Shek Hillel in North Miami Beach. Rabbi Levy, I've known you a very long time. How's everything going?
Things are going well, thank God. Getting ready for next year. Well, you don't forget.
Open?
Don't forget Kesher. Don't forget Kesher. 25 years in Kesher.
25 years in Kesher.
That's right.
That's awesome.
And 7 years at Hillel.
And at Hillel.
7 years. Listen, we're getting ready for school next year. So that's what we're doing now, all day.
Wonderful.
That's it, all day. So it probably leaves very little time for joking around.
I do, however, have a really good corny dad joke for you.
All right, that's what it's all about.
It's so corny that when I heard it when I was a young kid, I didn't even understand it at first. It took me a while. But the only way that it works is that when I ask you the question, you have to actually answer it to the best of your knowledge. You can't say, I don't know what.
All right.
Okay, I hope you haven't heard this one yet. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What has 4 legs, a tail, and barks?
What has 4 legs, a tail, and barks? I would say a dog.
Oh, you heard that one already?
You told me to answer to the best. I stepped right into that one, like something behind the dog. Thank you, Rabbi.
The corniest one I got.
That's a good one. It reminds me of why the chicken crossed the road.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Social distancing.
Oh, that's way too new. That's not an old joke at all.
Just
that's not anywhere near an old joke. All right, Rabbi Levy, thank you very much. Actually, I heard there was a kidnapping at your school. Is that true? Oh. But it was okay. He woke up.
What?
He woke up.
Well done.
I don't have a cricket sound effect. I need to get one of those. That's something I'm definitely missing. I'll just give myself a buzzer for that.
That's the one for it. My son on his summer reading list has a book about the history of glue. And once he picked it up, he couldn't put it down.
I hear that. It sticks. All right, Rabbi Levy, thank you so much for popping in.
My pleasure.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day to you guys too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And now we have another special guest who we've never had on the show before. I did say that it was going to be past and future guests of Rabbis in Quarantine Getting Coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, Rabbi Penny Andruzier.
Oh!
And he's gone.
Nope.
All right.
He's just a figment of your imagination.
We'll have to bring him back. I wonder if I have any dad jokes about disappearing.
Disappearing.
No, I don't. I don't think I do. But by the way, Rabbi Weinstock, have you ever lived in Switzerland?
I have not.
So I've heard that there are a lot of great things about living in Switzerland. To start with, their flag is a plus.
Oh yeah, their flag is a plus.
Yeah, I know.
But, because I can't go anywhere, I've been doing a lot of reading, and up until now, I haven't needed glasses. I just drink straight from the bottle.
Right. Well, that's what I'm about to start doing right over
here. But I went to get my eyes checked, and they told me I was colorblind, and,
really?
And that came right out of the purple.
That's funniest one so far today. My opinion, just my opinion. Funniest one so far today. That one caught me completely off guard. And speaking of completely off guard, since we lost Rabbi Penny, that's so sad because I'm sure, knowing Rabbi Penny,
Penny always has a good joke.
He would have had a good joke, but I also know that we can always count on. I'm building up the suspense while the joining, that little thing goes round and round. We can always count on Rabbi Davis. That is the wrong Rabbi Davis.
That's the real red.
Yeah, okay. So now I got to bring in the one that says Meira Davis. These names are throwing me off. There we go.
Oh!
Now we've got two Rabbi Davises right here in the room, and if it shows up online the way it's showing up on my computer, they're going to be right next to each other. Rabbi Davis and Rabbi Davis, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Abba.
Oh.
Rabbi, can you hear us? Rabbi Davis, can you? I don't know if he can hear us. You know what happened? I put in a note that if you're listening to the show on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, that you should turn off the sound when you come in, so that it doesn't like bleed over. And you might have, Rabbi Davis, if you can hear me, raise your hand. Rabbi Davis. Oh, you hear? Okay, you hear me. Okay, good. See, so anybody have a dad joke to share? Donnie.
I misunderstood when you invited me like 45 minutes ago to join the show. I didn't know what the show was about. I thought you wanted me to tell over some of the funny things that my father said that embarrassed his children.
But that would definitely qualify as a dad joke if.
My father, when we would travel a lot, my father has, you mentioned elevators for the Red Wine Sox. Some people have elevator music is that kind of like the elevator stuff that you don't really care about so much. My father has what we sometimes as children will call an elevator personality. The way he would speak to people he thought he would never ever see again. Oftentimes when we were on vacations, he would have his children, sometimes nieces and nephews, and he always claimed all of them as his own. And one woman in I think it was in the Carolinas asked if he was Hasidic. He responded that no, he's prolific.
That too.
That's good.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. That did deserve that. There we go.
But I did have one dad joke that as a math teacher also, I think it also applies for rabbis a little bit. Why was the fraction worried about marrying the decimal?
Why was the fraction worried about marrying the decimal?
He was afraid to convert.
Excellent. Excellent. Rabbi Davis, you have a rebuttal.
Or why was 6 afraid of 7?
Oh,
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9.
That's right.
How come I can't see anything?
Oh, there it is.
You can't see anything.
No.
Okay, but you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
That's what's important. We are live.
We can see you.
We are live.
Okay.
We are
Okay,
on the air. In fact, I'm going to make this a party and bring Rabbi Penny back in because he made it back to the waiting room. Now there are 5. Rabbi Penny, you are among some of the funniest rabbis around, and so are we. So Rabbi Penny, can you share a dad joke with us? Rabbi Penny is not making a sound.
What happened?
I don't know. He's muted. There we go.
I lost.
Are we losing each other? Rabbi Weinstock? Rabbi Weinstock, you got me?
I got you.
All right. Rabbi Penny, you got me? Rabbi Penny his lips are moving, but nothing's coming out. All right, we're gonna have to work on that.
But let me just note something because Rabbi Donnie Davis mentioned about traveling. I was a few years back. I was traveling and I was attacked by a gang of mimes.
Really?
Yes, and they did unspeakable things to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I would provide a sound effect for that, but it was mimes. Rabbi Davis, you seem to. It seems like this is almost a painful experience for you.
Yes, it truly is.
Can you see us yet?
Yeah, I can see you.
And that only makes matters worse, correct?
No. Actually, that's a relief considering what we've heard.
So there's somebody on our Facebook channel named Chesed Yocheved Avraham and giving shout outs to you. Do you have any idea who that is?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, Chesed Yocheved Avraham seems to like Rabbi Davis.
Okay.
And so Rabbi Davis, I invited you here to share with us a dad joke.
A
You've
dad
been a
joke.
dad for a pretty long time.
You know, I don't know. I think you were correct by saying that these were bad jokes, not just dad jokes.
Yes. It's just
So
adding
I
an
get
extra
it.
loop.
Anyway, so what I've been doing with the Sephardim, every time I get up and speak, I start with a joke. It has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about. It's just to get them in a good mood. Because, you know, Sephardim, well, no. Okay, so we'll get them in a good mood. So yesterday, we had our first Sephardi tent minyan, and the rabbis told me, Rabbi Weinstock said, no divrei Torah, no divrei Torah. But he didn't say I couldn't tell a joke. So I'm going to tell you the joke that I used yesterday. This, middle-aged, higher-class people, husband and wife walking in a grocery store, and she's got a problem. She takes things. She's a kleptomaniac. So she steals a can of peaches, and they catch her, and they take her straight away to the magistrate. And the judge says, ma'am, how many peaches are in a can? She says, 6. Says, well, therefore, I'm sentencing you to 6 days in jail. Case finished. No. Her husband screaming out, Your Honor. Yes, sir. I was there. I saw her. She also took a can of peas.
Yeah, well done.
See?
All right.
Well done.
That was
Actually,
that was bad in a different way. That was like a ragging on your wife on Father's Day bad. That was not it wasn't a
Been
groan.
on Mother's Day.
Well, no, I said it in the tent because they didn't have that many women in the tent, you know.
Right, and also no walls, so you could escape in any direction if you needed to.
That's correct. But anyway, my father had a great sense of humor, and we used to kid around a lot. But my memories of my father, which spanned decades, but really when my mother died when I was 11 years old, my father had to be mother and father to us, which put a strain a lot of times on our relationship. But it was all good. It was all good. He was a cook, a chef. He owned restaurants, and he was always in food, which is the reason all his children know how to cook. And so every Sunday night we had a steak dinner. My father used to make steak dinners. It's a steak, a starch, potato, salad, and a green steamed vegetable. And the rule was if you don't eat your peas or peas and carrots, you get no apple pie for dessert. So he didn't know who he was dealing with. I mean, he's got 5 kids, 4 boys and a girl. So we didn't take, well, yes, Dad. So my father's in the kitchen. All the food is out on the table. And we ate all the peas and carrots. So my father came to the table and said, Dad, you didn't eat your peas and carrots. You're not getting any apple pie. And he didn't get any apple pie.
No.
So
Consistency.
That was not a dad joke. That was a joke about dad, but definitely
no,
qualifies.
it wasn't. Okay, but no, I gotta tell you something about my father. I got a call. He was retired. I got a call from the Hebrew Academy of Washington. They're honoring my father, and they wanted me to come up and be the speaker at the dinner. So I consented, but I said, I asked my father, what did he do to get honored? Yeah, he gave them some stocks. It was a gift of about $50,000. So when I got up there, I went over to my father and I said, Dad, what are you giving away my Yerusha? You're giving away your Yerusha now? What is this? He says to me, he explained to me a valuable lesson. He says, when all of you were in school, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. I couldn't afford tuition, and they put you on scholarship, and I did work for the school with food and everything. And now that I'm retired, I have some money, and I felt that I needed to give back. Gave him a big kiss because I said, that's a lesson I got to tell my children. because there's always time to give back. So he gave the school money, even though none of us were any longer in the school, but it was well worth it. So when he died and I had my Yerusha from my father, I made sure to give checks to all the schools that educated my children. Because even though my children were not there anymore, I learned from my father, I got to pay back.
Well, your Yerusha was that education.
Yes, it was.
To Reb Ben Davis.
That's right. Amen.
Donnie, do you have any? Were you drinking out of a chicken soup container there?
Listen, my family has a history of making moonshine.
Oh.
But actually, this is something I learned from my father during many years of my childhood. And I know, Avi, you can relate because I know during your childhood, your parents banned you from eating sugar for many years.
Yeah, it's true.
Not that it helped. I remember making a sundae in your house when your parents were away, and you thought mint extract would be a wonderful addition to a sundae, and you just poured like a whole bottle right on top.
I was going crazy.
But there were periods of time in my life where my mother won what was, my parents, they never ever fought. They had disagreements sometimes about mostly things like soda and television. And different times in my life, it was a little like this, a little like this. So it was a period of time where we had no soda in the house, only on Shabbos, but it wasn't real soda. It was a can of apple juice or orange juice concentrate mixed with seltzer. So I have apple juice soda that I made myself, but I've upgraded. It's not seltzer, it's with Diet Sprite. So it's cheating, but it tastes better.
I remember having apple juice soda in your house when we were kids. Only because you said that, it wouldn't have come to me, but I do remember that. Okay, Donnie, thank you very much for joining us. Rabbi Davis Sr., don't leave because I have another guest for you. And I do want to bring Rabbi Pinney back. Rabbi Pinney, if you're listening, I see you in the waiting room there. But Donnie, thank you so much for joining. Next season, we'll have to get you on an actual show as an actual guest, as opposed to just popping in for a few minutes. But now I don't know. This could be a repeat of what just happened with what just happened. Well, no, I got the. No, I didn't get. I sort of got the right one. Rabbi Green.
Ooh.
Now this is Rabbi John Green. I was hoping Rabbi Davis will be Rabbi Sidney Green, your old friend going back.
Is that the defensive tackle from the Steelers? Is that
different John Green?
Oh, less
Rabbi
mean.
Green.
Less mean.
Happy Father's Day.
I think Happy Father's Day to you too. I think my
you mean
dad's
Joe Green. Is that who you mean?
Mean Joe Green? That's right.
No, it's the author actually from the novels. I have that here.
Yes, there it is right there. But you don't spell it with an H.
All right, but
is your father joining us?
He's in the waiting room. I think he's letter A.
Oh, he's letter A. I actually thought that was somebody else.
There was Zoom bombing.
So here we go, Rabbi. There he is, Rabbi Green and Rebbitzin Green together
for 60 years on Friday.
Yes. Now, I'm going to jump straight to Rabbi Green. Rabbi Sidney Green and Rabbi Davis, you guys go back a long way, correct?
Yes, they do.
And I'll tell you that almost my entire life, when I think of dad jokes, even before I think of my own dad, I think of Rabbi Sidney Green because his jokes, they're just, Rabbi Green, please share with us a dad joke. Happy Father's Day, first of all.
Thank you. And happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to tell you when I went for my first out of yeshiva, my first synagogue job. And they told me that the rabbi has to blow the shofar. And they have a famous shofar that they always use in that synagogue. And I didn't get the job. Because I told them I want to blow my own horn.
I didn't have my... There we go. There's my rim shot.
There we go.
Welcome to the show, Rabbi Green. Rabbi Davis has his head in his hands like he is once again in pain. Rabbi Davis, can I get you a Tylenol? All right, so
all the pitchers in professional baseball are very angry at Dr. Fucci.
Why is that?
Because he says they should flatten the curve.
Excellent.
God.
Oh, and Rabbi Green switching up the background just to keep up with his father. This is amazing. Rabbi John Green, can you share with us a dad joke? I mean, you were raised by this man.
Let's go.
Well, I was asking my kid what their favorite joke is. My wife told me that most of them I stole from my dad, but my favorite one was telling kids on a Shabbaton that they had to stay in their Shabbos clothes all day because they got to stay in Big Day Shabbos because Shabbos is a very big day.
It's a big day, Shabbos. Yes.
Hey, that's good.
I knew you'd like that. Rabbi Davis, I think you're probably ready to go backstage to the green room.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for, see what I did there? I didn't even realize I was making the green joke there. Thank you so much for being with us. And I'm glad you got to see your old friend, Rabbi Sidney Green for a moment. And let's just talk to the Greens for a second before we have to get our last couple of people through.
Avi, I on Shabbos growing up, I always liked to play hide and seek, but I always wanted to start a league. But good players are hard to find.
That's very true. That's very okay. I'll give you that. So, Rabbi John Green and I went to high school together. We've been friends since approximately 1980 something.
Yes.
I believe it was the early to mid to late 80s, perhaps the 90s even. Who am I kidding?
Since 86, I think.
Ooh.
Not even. It was like 84. 85. It was 85.
No, we've been friends since 86. We've known each other since 86.
Ah, there we go. It took me a while to get in the inner circle, the trust, the circle of trust. So can you share with us another dad joke before we have to start wrapping things up?
Well, my dad shared with me actually one of the best jokes he's had. I'm going to defer. Kibbut Ava Aim. I got the background, but really in today's day and age, I know in Florida, they just started davening outside, right? There's been a lot of minyanim outside.
Yeah, it's been pretty intense.
I handed over to my father for that. I got the background. You got the joke, Dad.
So in our area, they're davening in the back of the apartment houses where they have the parking areas. And, the sign is there already. It says parking for 10 ants only. But I didn't know where the 10 ants.
Oh, sorry. It went on too quickly. 10 ants only. Yes.
Whether they can make a million or not, I don't know. 10 ants.
Ah, there we go. All right. Rebbitzin Green, you're sitting there in the background. You knew we were going to notice you and pick on you. Do you want
60 years of dad jokes? Unbelievable.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, how is that's 60 years that they're together?
Yeah. Baby bride. I really was still in my teens.
You're in your teens.
That's not a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yes, 58 years of marital bliss.
And 60 total years of marriage. Is that what you're saying?
Allowed.
That's a darn good record. That is a very good record.
I deserve a purple heart.
Speaking of which, we have actually their wedding record that is on an album. We could play for you if you ever bring us back on.
It's on vinyl.
Oh, that kind of record. Wow.
Vinyl.
Oh, that kind of record. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I always used to say, until my wife started getting mad when I would say that we're married, when I would say the joke, whatever number of years it was, we're married 28 years, but it feels like 2 days, Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av. And then at that point, I would give myself the rim shot. All right, Rabbi Green, it has been a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much for joining. You're also future guests that we're going to be bringing back. This is like a whole preview of what's coming up next season. Oh. So thank you so much for joining, and a happy Father's Day to you. And it's always nice to see the Greens.
Nice to see you, Avi.
We're known as the Sha'ar Yerakot.
Let me give you one final. I have one final rim shot there. There we go. Thank you, Rabbi Sidney Green, everybody. And,
we're going to the green room.
And Rabbi, yes, back to the green room with you. And then finally, finally, we have Rabbi Penny. We're going to give Rabbi Penny one more shot. Let's see if the audio is going to kick in. If we can end this with a bang. Rabbi Penny Andruzier.
Yay!
And when he speaks, Rabbi Weinstock, do you hear him?
I don't hear him.
Rabbi Penny, can you sign for us a dad joke? Actually, we had another rabbi. I probably should have asked him to be on. Keith Wasserstrom he was texting me dad jokes.
Yeah.
So maybe while Rabbi Penny figures out his sound there, let's see. Oh, he texted me a whole bunch of them. He said due to the quarantine, he's only going to be telling inside jokes. That's good. But
can't hear you.
I don't hear you, Rabbi Penny. I'm telling Keith Wasserstrom's dad jokes right now while we wait for you to see if you figure out. I want to tell you a coronavirus joke, but you're going to have to wait 2 weeks to see if you get it. This is good. This is comedy gold right here. I am so glad I picked up my phone. The grocery stores in France look like a tornado hit them. All that's left is debris. Debris. All right. I think that's all we got. I think.
Avi, you know who? I'm glad we didn't hear any knock jokes because
why is that?
I wasn't in the mood. But it does remind me of the person who invented the knock joke.
Really?
You know that, right?
I don't know anything about the person who invented the knock joke.
He won the Nobel Prize.
That's good stuff. All right, I think with that, we're going to have to knock on out of here. And I want to wish everyone a fantastic summer. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for putting up with probably the absolute worst jokes we've ever had on this show. And I'm giving myself a compliment. I think giving us all a compliment by saying that it was never worse than this. And we have some very loyal listeners. They've been commenting. I haven't even had a chance to stop and read the comments. It's been a whirlwind of guests, but I look forward to coming back from the summer and starting the show back up, perhaps even being forced to give it a new name, because who knows, maybe when I get back down here in August, we won't be in quarantine anymore.
Rabbis gradually re-entering society.
Right, maybe even rabbis in minivans or something. I don't know. Do rabbis still drive minivans? You don't drive a minivan, do you?
Of course, my wife drives the Odyssey. But,
you've got the you've got a little SUV.
I got
yes, the one that's missing a door handle. That's yours, right? What happened? What happened to that door?
Yeah,
handle?
the one that I don't lock. Correct. I leave the keys in the ignition. Yeah, that's
nice, perfect. And Rabbi Weinstock's address is. Okay, so everyone. Have a wonderful night. Rabbi Weinstock, you want to take us out with a final dad joke of the evening?
Sure.
All right, I'm ready.
So my wife doesn't let me do the shopping because before Shabbos, she asked me to bring home 6 Sprites. And instead, I picked 7-Up.
Yeah, it's gonna have to last us till August, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. This has been Rabbis in Quarantine, getting coffee. Have a great night, great summer. We'll see you all in a few weeks.
Thanks, bye, everyone. Take care.
All right. And I think we are no longer